Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. My name is Amira if you're new here, and today we're doing my full makeup routine. I'm going to talk you guys through it. I have actually never done a video like this before. I don't want to call it a tutorial because I don't know, I feel like everybody has their different ways of how they do their makeup and all that stuff. So I'm going to walk you guys step by step through my routine. So step one is skin prep. This part is super important. I feel like a lot of people don't get the results for their makeup that they want because they're not prepping their skin. So first things first, I'm going in with this Cocoa Kind Rosewater. This is so good. Literally drenching my face in that. And then I don't even let it dry down really. Next, I'm going in with this e.l.f. Triple Bounce Serum. This is so good. This is hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, B5, just a lot of really good hydrating products to help plump up the skin. Then I'm going in with this e.l.f. Thirst Burst Drops. These are really good. They're dewy and brightening. This has hibiscus and niacinamide as well, but this will give your skin that glow that you need to glow from within with your makeup. Last but not least, I'm going in with this Naturium sunscreen. This is the Dew Glow Moisturizer sunscreen. I don't even do moisturizer because this is so hydrating, but I do 2 pumps of this, 2 fingers worth, so about this much, and put this all over my face and neck. And the important part about sunscreen is that in order for it to work, especially if you're somebody who is actively trying to clear up their hyperpigmentation, you have to let it sit on the skin for 15 minutes before putting anything else on. That's when it forms the cast on your skin to actually protect it. So I am going to wait 15 minutes before I continue on with my routine. But look at how dewy and glowy the skin is just with those 4 products. Now that our sunscreen has been setting for 15 minutes, it's time to go in with primer. I like to use the e.l.f. Hydro Grip Primer because, I mean, it's what I have, but also it just keeps my makeup in place. Like, I really like it. So anyways, I just put it all over my face, and I literally put it anywhere where I'm gonna put my makeup. So drag it up into my hairline, put it under my eyes. I even put some on my brows. Like, I put it any and everywhere. Okay. And of course you have to let this set for a couple minutes. Also let it get tacky, let it dry down some. While that's doing what it does, I'm gonna start prepping my base products. So I don't use foundation. I haven't used a legitimate foundation in a really long time. And honestly, even the products that I use right now are a little bit too dark for my skin. Like, they're kind of my summer shade. I haven't gotten anything for my winter shade, but we're making it work. We're making it work. I'm going in with this Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer in the shade 19N. And instead of putting it all over my face, I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand. And as you can see, I'm about to show you guys, hold on. As you can see, this is really orange. And in the summer, like, I am more, my undertone is a lot more red because I just get darker. But in the winter time, I feel like I pull more cool to neutral. So I don't know, but anyways, we're using what we have, and I'm going to also spray my foundation brush with a little bit of this Revolution Super Fix spray before going in with the foundation. Now, I do like to prime the brush. I heard people talking about this on TikTok, and that's kind of when you just put all the product into your brush before putting it on your face. So I do like to do that, and then I'm just going in all over the face. And this just makes it like a nice light layer of foundation and not anything that's too like caked on. especially because it's not my right shade. We don't want it to look so like distinctive, but because it's not my right shade, I do drag it underneath my jawline. We have to get the forehead because I have braids in, so we gotta make sure that forehead is on point. Okay, now that my foundation is on, we're gonna go in with this concealer. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This one is a little bit lighter than what I have already put on. And I'm just gonna put that under my eyes. And then I'm also gonna take a little bit of this just like over certain areas of my face to brighten it back up some. You know what I mean? Like, we don't wanna look too crazy in these streets. So I'm just gonna blend out this stuff on my chin and drag that up, whatever's left, onto edges of my face. And then for my forehead, do the same thing. I'm gonna be real with y'all, whenever I do my makeup, I just be trying stuff. Like, I really do. I don't have like a, oh, this is my holy grail makeup routine. This is what I do every time I sit down to do my makeup. I don't have any of that. I just try things out. This lighting looks so insane right now. Like, you can't even really see what I'm doing. Anyways. I want to drag it on my nose too. I just want the center of my face to be a little bit lighter than everything else. Now I'm going to just spray some of the setting spray. Even though my under eye hasn't been blended out yet, I just kind of like to set everything else and then I'll go in to blend my under eye. Now, because the rest of my face is so dark already, I'm not going to do any sort of like contour or anything like that because I feel like it would just look too crazy or like a bronzer. I'm just going to go in with the blush, and I'm using this Ulta Beauty Too Cheeky blush in the color Mood, I believe. I got this because everybody was raving about, oh, it's a dupe for the whatever, for the what's that brand called? Y'all know what I'm talking about, the Road or something. So anyways, I just put some on the back of my hand. It's really pretty. Let me show you guys. I didn't even show you. It's this really pretty like rosy pink color, and it has a bit of shimmer to it. So we put that on the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna go in with a brush to blend that in. And I like doing it this way because I feel like it's a little bit more controlled this way as opposed to just going in right on the cheek. So yeah, and this is what that swatch looks like on the skin. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. So I like to do my blush before I blend out my concealer, just so that if I put a little bit too much, because I have been told before that I have a bit of blush blindness. So I like to do my blush first in case it's a little bit too much, then we can tone it down with the concealer blend out. I'm also going in with this Morphe 3 palette blush. This is the Cheek Thrills in the color Blind Date. So going in with this, they also have a cream on this one. This one is more pinky and less like red. So I'm just gonna layer these. I'm probably gonna do one more layer of the Ulta one. I like to drag it up to my temples. I do like to drag my blush up. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go in with one more layer of the Ulta one. That looks so pretty, y'all. Wow. So gorgeous. Now we're gonna blend out the concealer, and I'm just gonna use my Sephora powder puff to blend out my concealer. All right, so now that my entire base is done, we're going to go in again with the same Revolution setting spray just to keep all of my liquid products in place. Why is it coming out like that? Okay, that was weird. That was weird. Now I'm going in with all of my powder products, starting off first with the Laura Mercier loose powder. And taking my same powder puff that I had before. And I like to just dab it off on the back of my hand before going under my eye so that it's not too much powder underneath my eye. I think that's when my eyes really start to like crease and look cakey, is when I like put too much powder. I'm not somebody who bakes. I'm not somebody who does the whole press powder first, then setting powder or loose powder. I just do loose powder. And I do a nice light layer of it so that my under eyes still look, you know, they still look real. I'm okay with like a little bit of creasing. I'm okay with a little bit of, I don't know, I just want to look real. I want it to look alive. I don't want to look casket ready. So I don't do any of that. But what I do is I go in around my chin and my mouth with the powder, because this is where it creases the most for me. Not that I don't like creasing, but you know. And also I'm just setting with my powder puff anywhere that I put the lighter concealer. So I'm gonna go on my forehead as well. I have a friend who's actually a makeup artist, and she really be beating the faces to the guts, like for real. She knows how to beat a face, but you know, sometimes everybody doesn't want a beat face, and I feel like I found what works for me. Of course, I'm going to get tips and tricks from her, of course, because you can never learn too much, you know what I mean? But I don't want every time I do my makeup for it to look like, you know, I'm ready for a fashion runway. And so today, this is just a little bit of something. Now that all of that is done, I'm going to use my same translucent setting powder on a brush over my whole entire face. I wanted to share my routine with you guys because I enjoy doing my makeup. This is what I like to do. This is really what I like to do. If I had somewhere to go every day, I would honestly probably put on a little bit of makeup every day, but I don't have anywhere to be. So whenever I get ready for church, that's when I have my little moment to feel, you know, cutesy, girly, all the things. This is looking really cute. This is looking really cute. Okay, so I'm still on the fence about bronzer, but I think I must do just a little. So I'm taking this NYX bronzer melt. I'm sorry, the NYX Buttermelt bronzer in the shade Do Butter. Again, got this when it was a bit warmer outside. So I'm just literally gonna take the smallest amount. Even that is a lot because this is super pigmented. I'm gonna try to blend it out on my wrist, and I'm just gonna put it like on my hairline. I feel like I just need a little bit of something on the forehead to make it like, I don't know, y'all, I don't know. Okay, I think that's it. We're gonna put some right here, just whatever's left on the brush. I'm super nervous, y'all. Okay, that's it. We're done with the bronzer, because that's making me nervous. Now to my favorite part of my makeup routine every time is the blush. I'm using the powder from this Morphe trio. This is like a baby pink. When I first got it, I was really nervous. I was like, oh, it's gonna be too light, like it's not gonna look good. No, the baby pink is tea. She's tea, because I can pack it on and it's not gonna be like red like the other blush that I was using, which I still like that blush, but I think it's a little more of like a fall winter color. And granted, it still is winter, it's still winter, but this one's just a lot more soft in my opinion, and I can get away with putting a lot more on because it's not as, you know, it's like And anytime I feel like I've done a little bit too much with the blush, you can just go back over it with your foundation brush, whatever you use for your foundation, and just dull it out a little bit. And I tend to do that just to be on the safe side. Like I said, I like a lot of blush, but I've been told that I do have blush blindness, so I just try to be mindful of it. I just try to be mindful. Now that everything else is done, like my base is done, I am going to start on my brows, and before I actually start to fill them in, I'm just gonna wipe them off a little bit. And let me put y'all onto the best brow pencil ever. This is the NYX Professional Micro Brow Pencil. This pencil is so tea, and it's in the shade Espresso. What I like to do is draw a line underneath my brow for whatever I want the shape to be. And as you can see, like my tails are pretty sparse, so I tend to start from there with like filling in I do a line on the top of my tail also and fill it in. You see that? And then just brush it out. I don't do any of those like hair-like strokes in the front or anything like that. I don't carve it out with concealer. I don't do any of that. I just like a natural looking brow. So I like it to be like kind of fluffy. I'm not gonna do any eyeshadow because I don't really care to do eyeshadow, but I am gonna take some bronzer on an eyeshadow brush just so that my eyes look like I tried. See, that just did a little bit of something to the look. Not too much, but just a little something. So, because I'm not doing any mascara, that's the end of the look. Now I'm going in with this L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting mist. For my lip, I'm just gonna do some lip gloss. I've been using the Edam one a lot. This is the Edam Le Choo Choo Lip Softening Balm in Butter Mochi. This one is really good. It lasts for a long time. And it's nice. This is the final look. Okay. This is the final look. It's very like glowy, dewy, hydrated. I just feel really cute, honestly. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching my video, and I hope you have a fantastic, wonderful day.